Hi, welcome to another episode of 8-Bit Retro Refix, and on this week's episode we're going to be taking a look at this 48K Spectrum, which I picked up off Facebook very cheaply. We're going to strip it down, change the RF connection to Composite, so I'm going to do that mod and let you see how to do that. It's a very easy mod, very simple, and the reason why I want to do that is because most modern TVs don't have RF anymore. Pretty much most of them have Composite, and you get a much cleaner signal through Composite anyway. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to test it out and see if this little beauty works. So let's get to it. Hi, so we're over at the bench. I've got the 48K Spectrum here. I'm just going to I've already taken out the 5 screws from the back, just to save a little bit of time on there. So when you open these up, just be very careful. And you'll see underneath there the ribbon cables. You get a good tight grip of them and lift them out as best as you can without breaking anything. That's out. So it's pretty easy. That comes straight off the top. So we should have one screw now that's in the middle of the board that just holds the rest of it in. So I'm just going to pop that screw out now. And we can remove the board from the base if somebody else stuck it in. Yep, there we go. So what's plan is to change this from RF to Composite, and to do that what we do is we'll pop off the top. I'll just try and zoom in a little bit for you. Okay, that looks a bit better for you. So I'm just going to pop off this top, which comes straight off like that. So what you can see down this side here, you can't really see that one on camera, it's not really showing it very easy. There you can, there you go. So that one's your Composite feed into this RF box, and that one just there is the 5V feed that feeds the power to this unit. This RF box is completely separate from anything else on the board, so it's irrespective to anything else. It just picks up the ground from the normal ground plane, so that's not a problem at all. So what we're going to do when we get inside here, you can see this resistor just up there that's looped over. So all we're going to do is cut that wire off there for that resistor onto that pen. We're going to move that out of the way so it's not touching, and then this one down here we're going to run a wire straight up, straight through and straight onto that, and that's it. That's your Composite mod. That's all we're doing. It's as simple and it's as easy as that. So I'm just going to snip these off now, start the soldering iron, and let's add that wire. So we're here now. What we're going to do is just cut that wire straight off there. Once you feed in, what I do is I just break it off or wiggle it. Won't take long. And the other bit of wire down there, we're going to snip that. It's a little bit more awkward inside here. What I'll try and do is find a little screwdriver if I can. It's that wire that's poking through there, we don't want that there now anymore. So we can get rid of that. Doesn't matter, just move it out of the way. So you can see inside there. So all I've done is move that wire there, look. That's the one that came up through that hole, so I'm going to shift that out of the way. This is the one that we need to, that resistor, we need to get cut off there, so I'm just going to try and get in there now. So that looks like that resistor's disconnected now, so that's that bit done. Just move that out of the way, and that's pretty much it. So I've got this little piece of wire. Try and move out a little bit for you. So I've got this little piece of wire now. Just want to trim it down. Doesn't need to be that long really, does it? We'll just poke it through there first, see if it'll go through. Look at that, straight through, not a problem. Take a bit of that off, with the braiding off. So I'm just going to tin the ends of this wire. Bit of tinning on there, just makes it a little bit easier once you put it onto that other one. So I'm going to bend that so it's a bit rounded really, so it'll loop out so I can pull it through. If I can get to it. So I'm going to pull that through there now. I'm going to just bend that down now, down to that point that we wanted it on there. A little bit long at the end of that, so I'm going to snip a bit of that off. It's better. I suppose it's just stupidly awkward to try and get in around in inside here. That's wires now on top of there. It's still a bit long. I'll just fold it around a bit, make it a little bit shorter. That's bent around there, you can see that now. It's just lent against top of that. So I'm just going to go in with soldering iron and just touch that bit with soldering iron. That's literally that bit done, finished. All I'm going to do is take that wire straight to that pin. So I'm just going to snip a little bit off the end. So you can see there now, you can just see that wire overlapping. So I'm just going to bring my soldering iron up and touch that in. And that's it. That's your mod finished. So I'm just going to pop all that back together now. I'll come back to you when we're going to test it. Let's build it all back up together. So I've got all that built back up now, and I've got it plugged back in, and we've plugged up with the composite wire that runs straight into the side of this little LCD screen. The picture on there might not be as really brilliant, but it's just there for test purposes really. Just one thing I want to add about that composite mod that we've just done. In rare cases, some TVs don't pick up just putting a wire on and running it through. It needs a little bit more stable signal getting sent through. So if you do have problems when you do this mod, if you just add one capacitor, just wants to be 100 microfarads capacitor, just exactly to what we did there, but you want the negative side to the RF box and the positive side of it obviously to the board. So that's just to add to that for you. So let's plug this thing in and let's see what we can get out of it and see if it still works. I've got the Div MMC cartridge plugged in. It's just for a bit of ease for loading things, makes it a little bit quicker on the videos. You might not be able to see much on the screen there, it will blur out a little bit, but that has come up with the Sinclair research on the bottom there. So I'm just going to go into menus now. I've just picked out on one just to test. I'm going to go down to the bottom, go into my folder, I'm going to pick up on a Manic Miner, and I'll see if it works. So I say that's a win. We're up and running. We've got a composite mod done now. See, there isn't much sound coming out of it because these things don't have an external sound. It doesn't go straight to your TV and you can't adjust the sound on it or anything. It's rather annoying when you're a young boy trying to play games when you're being quiet when your mum and dad are in bed, which was impossible with these Spectrums because they would always hear them. No volume on it, unless you obviously opened it up and cut the wire to the speaker, and then you had nothing at all. So I'm just going to play a little bit on here. I don't know whether you can see very well on the camera. I'll try and just focus in on it there. You can laugh if you want, because I'm going to laugh at myself anyway. I'll just see if I can get past this thing and get past one level at least, just as a test. I'm only doing it really to check keyboard and seeing what the signal will like on the Composite mod. Nearly there. Yow. Always gets you to the top of that one there. Just timing. That's all it is with these old games anyway. Ah! Oh, yeah. Last chance. And it fails. Well, there you go. That's the 48K Spectrum Composite mod done. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's not been a very long one this time. There will be another one coming out at the weekend for another Commodore 64 repair. I'm still waiting to receive it through the post, so once I've received that 64 through the post, I don't particularly know what's wrong with it until it gets here and I read the letter that comes with it. But that's what's going to be on Saturday's video anyway. So once again, thanks very much for watching another episode of 8-Bit Retro Refix, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!